Hi, Jay Fallon here. Thanks for listening to The Slippery Slope. Just thought I'd do a quick video because of what I've seen this morning. I think it's so important. I think it's so disgusting what's happening. Really shows where our world, our whole world is heading, our society is heading, the things that we now accept. I remember about 20 years ago, the wife of my pastor standing up before the congregation and warning the congregation that our world was basically on a bad trajectory because she'd just been to I think it was a ladies' conference, and they were talking about modern day feminism, the dangers of it, but also talking about there was a big push in Australia at that time for gay marriage, and she was warning about where gay marriage would take our society, and because it wouldn't, the slogan "love is love," gay marriage wouldn't just end with two adults of whatever gender getting married. It would eventually continue to slide down beyond that slippery slope. So before I get into anything else, I just want to read. I just want to read this to you. This verse from Matthew 18, and a lot of you probably know it. It says, "Then Jesus." I'll read from verse 2. It says, "Then Jesus called a little child to him, set him in the midst of them, and said, Assuredly I say to you, unless you are converted and become as little children, you will by no means enter the kingdom of God. Therefore, whoever humbles himself as this little child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Whoever receives one little child like this in my name receives me. But whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Woe to the world because of offenses, for offenses must come, but woe to that man by whom the offense comes." So the reason why I bring all this up and I want to read to this verse is because of the story that I came across today. First from Pastor Jack Hibbs on his Telegram page, and it was about the Boise, what do you call those parades? The Pride Parade. I don't even know how to describe what's going on. I'll read some of from another article describing this parade. It says, it's a 3-day Boise, Idaho Pride Festival sponsored by major corporations beginning this week will feature drag kids as young as 11 who will be bringing drag to the younger generation. So the annual Boise Pride Festival and Parade set for this weekend will feature drag kids on stage, which the event's guide describes as a drag show like none other, which will incidentally take place on the 11th, on the anniversary of 9/11. While participants in Drag Kids are children ranging in age from 11 to 18 who are ready to bring it all, they said, to the festival stage, viewers may be of any age. The Boise Pride Festival, the region's largest LGBTQ plus minus divided by Pride celebration, founded in 1989, celebrates lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, non-binary, and queer social and self-acceptance achievements, legal rights, and pride, according to its website. The event's webpage features an image of a group of young volunteers with a boy at the center who appears to be sucking a rainbow-colored lollipop in the shape of male genitals. It just makes me feel creepy just saying that. Celebrating its 33rd anniversary, the 2022 festival intentionally shifted the usual June date in order to ensure more families could attend in September. We escape some of the hottest parts of the summer attract more young people, with area colleges and universities back in session, and families typically return from summer vacations with children returning to school, the guide states. So they're targeting, they want the children to come along. So remember when this thing started out as the issue with Drag Queen Story Hour. And now we hit the point with drag queen performances for children and children drag queens, wrote one Twitter user. This is wrong on so many levels. The city of Boise is actively promoting the abuse of children, wrote another. Whatever happened to clowns making balloon animals? Face painting, displays of fire trucks, wrote another. Too old fashioned for the modern 7-year-old. I don't know. I find it hard to understand or hard to comprehend. Sorry, not understand. Hard to comprehend where we're going with all this. Now, I'm going to bring it up for you to read. I'm going to read this poster that promoting the drag kids. So if you're on YouTube, yeah, you can read along. It says, so it's a big colorful poster with all the usual pride colors on there, and it says, you have watched the queens and kings, and now it is time to see the kids. A drag show like none other. The drag kids range from ages 11 to 18 and are ready to bring it all to the Boise Pride Festival stage. Come and cheer them on as they bring drag to the younger generation. And underneath that, it's got also the advertisement for the drag story time. People at different times, when Christians, people with biblical standards, protested these kinds of things like the drag story time. We were constantly told by the organizers, by society, you're idiots. This isn't going to go further. It's not going to get worse. It's just people. It's just love. People loving other people. Love is love. The slogan that the pride community all like to say, like to bandy about, is love is love. And we were told, wouldn't assured it won't go any further. It wouldn't get any worse. Drag story time. They say stories read by some of your favorite drag queens and kings. I didn't realize drag kings was a thing. I assume that's just women pretending to be men. So come gather up close to the stage. Get your children right up in there and enjoy story time with Kenny the doll, Celeste, Lots of Heart, and Dante Diamante. So this is where we're at. This is where we're coming to. I think it's going to get a lot worse. I don't want to be. I don't know if you can be too melodramatic about these things. I don't want to. But I just remember my pastor's wife standing up before the congregation, like I said, 20-something years ago, warning us, saying, hey, modern feminism and this push for gay marriage is going to take us down a road where sexual debauchery is just going to wax worse and worse. You're not even going to be able to comprehend. And we're going to see in the future, it's going to take us down the slippery slope where the acceptance of bestiality, the acceptance of marrying animals, the acceptance of pedophilia, people are going to start standing up and saying, well, pedophilia is okay. They're going to try and push the age limits down, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. When is love? When is someone too young to love? What's wrong with a 30-year-old being in love with a 10-year-old? And unfortunately, we're seeing in our society, we're seeing it, supposed professors come out and talking about this kind of psychology, this kind of thinking where you can, it's not their fault. These adults, these people that love younger people who are just children. And now we see the Pride Parade. We're constantly sold this fake news that the Pride Parades, they're just people that love. They just love. They're not hurting anyone else. They're just doing their own thing. They're just dressing how they want, living how they want, loving how they want. It won't get worse. It won't. They're just minding their own business. But when you drop Bible standards, when you push God out of society, when you push God out of your schools, out of your laws, out of your governments, when you can constantly deny God and embrace any kind of sexual filth, well, then of course we're going to end up in a time when drag kids is seen as that's a good thing. Eventually, I think in these parades of pride, I think you're going to see adults walking hand in hand with children and then telling everyone, well, I just love this person. And they're just a person and they love me. And you should accept us. You should accept us because we're not harming anyone. We need to pray for our nation. Jesus is the only answer for this world. The Bible has the answers. This world is getting worse, and we are going towards the end times. We are hurtling towards those end times described in the Bible. We need to pray for our nation. We need to pray for these children who attend these drag kids things. Pray for them, pray for their families, pray for these organizers, but pray for our nation. This is concerning times, and it can't just be ignored. It can't be brushed under the carpet. The churches need to stand up, rise up, take a stand against this disgusting, despicable behavior. It's my thoughts. Thanks for listening. I would ask if you do listen to the Slippery Slope, please like and share on the audio sections too on our Apple Podcasts and Spotify if you can. Also hit subscribe and share this post. Thanks for listening to the Slippery Slope.